The Flash movie did so horribly, it killed possibly one of the best Batman films that we could have gotten. Do you know what time it is? By the way, this video is all spoilers, so you've been warned. Welcome to the Legacy of Nerd. My name is Daniel, and today, yes, we are in fact talking about the Flash movie, but more specifically, we are talking about its effect on Batman in the movies going forward. So if you haven't been following, the Flash finally had its world premiere last weekend, and it has underperformed so horribly that it has even underperformed The Rock's really bad movie, Black Adam. So if you guys have watched The Flash, everybody has their opinions on it, whether it is okay or it's really bad. I don't think I've seen anyone say like it is a masterpiece or anything like that. It definitely doesn't compare to like Batman 1989, Superman the movie, back with Christopher Reeve, or The Dark Knight. It is definitely not in the pantheon of those great DC movies, but it has its moments. But that being said, it has done so bad. Now, I think it did like 55 million domestic here in the United States, and it only grossed like up to, I think, like 150 million, somewhere around that, worldwide. So, I mean, give you some perspective, I think Fast X debuted like $300 million, and that movie wasn't that much better than The Flash. Now, if you haven't been following the last couple of years with The Flash, this movie was supposed to debut last year, and they moved it back because they've had so much bad press around this movie. So let's start with the ties to Russia that this movie has had, and the Russia's attack on Ukraine that was unwarranted, and that's a whole thing, right? But the biggest, I think, controversy out of this movie is the main character, is the main lead actor, Ezra Miller, who has had just horrendous behaviors. Now, I gotta admit, I only knew a couple of his behaviors before this movie debuted, and then I saw the movie and I went, usually when I see a movie, I go read more into it, the production, casting, and I read more about the actors. But Ezra Miller's behaviors, I didn't even know the half of it. And my God, I don't know how this guy is walking around free and starring in movies. It's just insane to me. But that being said, The Flash wasn't the horrible thing that everyone's claiming it to be, but it's definitely a box office disappointment. It has underperformed so badly. Kevin Smith recently reported on his show Fat Man Beyond that he was at the premiere for The Flash, and he saw Michael Uslan's son there. And he asked Michael Uslan's son where his dad was, Michael Uslan. And his son said that his dad was at home watching the gross numbers for the weekend. And Kevin Smith was like, really, why? And his son said, because if this movie debuts 150 million domestic, like The Batman did, Robert Pattinson's The Batman, that they were going to greenlight a Batman Beyond movie featuring Michael Keaton. Guys, The Flash killed our Batman Beyond movie. If you're not familiar with Batman Beyond, it is a cartoon that came out, what was it, like early 2000s, maybe late 90s? I can't remember, but I totally watched all of it. It was just an amazing show. It featured in the future. It was an older Bruce Wayne, 70s, 80s, somewhere around that time. Much more seasoned. And he has taken, I guess, a protege in Terry McGinnis. And Terry McGinnis is the new Batman. He has a new suit, capeless. He has new technology. He has his own pantheon of villains. Basically, this cartoon was way ahead of its time. And it was actually like a very mature cartoon that was targeted towards children. We've seen Terry McGinnis continue on in Justice League, and famously, he had his own little story arc in Justice League Unlimited, which I'm not going to spoil it, but I really recommend you guys go watch his episodes in Justice League because it breaks everything and changes everything for that character. But we've also seen him recently in the comics. We also were supposed to see a Michael Keaton Batman in the Batgirl movie that was going to be on HBO Max that just got canceled. I mean, this movie got filmed, was in post-production, maybe needed some reshoots, but they, like, WB Discovery or Discovery, whatever they call themselves now, just canceled it. We're never going to see that version of Michael Keaton in that movie. Not to mention, like, Michael Keaton's Batman was supposed to be at the end trailer or the end of the Flash movie. And these were actually some of the first like stills that we got from The Flash when they started filming, like, oh my God, look, there's Michael Keaton filming on the set of The Flash. And they didn't even show that in the movie. So that kind of says already, like, they weren't thinking that The Flash was going to perform well enough that they were going to bring back Keaton for anything else. But that's not being said. We could possibly get Keaton back for other things. Hopefully they would reconsider a Batman Beyond movie, because I just think that's due. And I think a lot of, you know, people from my generation and even younger kids can something that they can look forward to, a Batman in the future. Look how well Miles Morales has done as Spider-Man. That is not the traditional Spider-Man, but, like, you know, Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, like, these movies are really, really done well, and they're connecting with young audience as well. Batman Beyond is one of those things that you can bring in that can really be a game changer and can really push DC forward. And it just sucks that The Flash has done this. The question is, who do we blame for The Flash? Like, do we blame DC? Do we blame WB Discovery? Do we blame the executive producers? Do we blame Ezra Miller? Like, who do we blame for this? One thing that is coming out of The Flash that might be good is that we may actually get Sasha Calle back as Supergirl. Like, her performance in Supergirl, every scene she was in, she commanded the screen. I do have to say, she is a great Supergirl, and I hope they find a way for her to stick around, because it just makes sense. She definitely fits a Supergirl mold of the movies that is more reminiscent of the comics. I know she doesn't look like the comics, but in the comics, Supergirl is very, like, stoic and, like, not afraid to use her strength, you know, almost kind of quick to anger, not as calm as Superman, but hasn't been grown up in a human world, so definitely doesn't hold back. And I get that feeling from Sasha Calle, which I really want to see going forward. But yeah, guys, like, I want to know what you guys think. Do you want to see a Batman Beyond movie? Because, oh my God, that would be so cool. What about, like, a live action Return of the Joker? That would be dope. And who would they cast as Joker going against a Terry McGinnis Batman? That'd be so cool. All right, guys, that's all I have for today. I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you think about The Flash. I want to know what you think about possible Batman Beyond. I want to know what you think about Sasha Calle maybe coming back as Supergirl. What do you think? Did you enjoy The Flash? Did you hate it? There were some really cool cameos in there. You know what? Spoilers. But they're gonna, they had Christopher Reeve. They had, a tribute to him a little bit. They had a Nick Cage scene where he flies in, he's Superman. It looked really dope, and it made me really want to see a Nick Cage Superman movie now. And that is something I don't think I've ever said out loud for sure. We got George Reeves making his return as Superman. Definitely a great tribute. We had a little bit of Adam West, a bunch of really, really cool stuff in there that I really very much enjoyed. But yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I will see you on the next one.